Here we go at NABJ 2018 with Tom Perez, Chairman of the DNC. Thank you very much for chatting with us.
Great to be here.
Quick question. What does the DNC have to do to get Stacey Abrams elected in 2018?
Help organize everywhere. And let me give you an example of an investment we made 6 months ago.
Okay.
We've made a six-figure investment in rural organizing of African American voters.
Okay.
When we organize everywhere, when we talk to people everywhere, that's how we win. 1/3 of African Americans in Georgia live outside major metropolitan areas. And you look historically, Jason, and what happened was, if you're trying to win a statewide, your focus was basically Metro Atlanta.
Right.
Our focus is every single zip code in Georgia. And that's why digital tools are so critically important, because it's hard to knock on every door in a rural community, but this gadget has enabled us to make the world a lot smaller. And so we're investing in organizing. We invested early. The Georgia project, which is 2 years in running, is a spectacularly important issue. And for the benefit of your viewers, the Georgia project was an investment in infrastructure, making sure we're out there registering voters early and registering voters everywhere. And over 200,000 voters have been registered.
That's why Kemp attacks it so much.
And listen, I know Kemp well, because when I headed up the Civil Rights Division, we sued. I was about to say something not very nice.
No, I like that. We can put that on camera.
We sued him, and we sued him because he's one of these people who wants to make it harder for people to vote. And let me be slightly more specific. He wants to make it harder for African Americans and Latinos and Asian Americans to vote. That's what he's trying to do. And the New Georgia, and the reason it's called the New Georgia Project is the New Georgia is remarkable in its diversity. 8% of the state of Georgia now is Latina. We have a huge growth in Atlanta, in Metro Atlanta, in the Asian American community. We invested in 2017 in the Georgia 6th congressional race, and 100% of our investment went into organizing communities of color in Georgia 6, Asian American, African American, and Latino. And we did it because we wanted John Ossoff to win. He didn't quite make it to the top of the mountain, but you know what? When you organize, you're building relationships. And Stacey Abrams and other candidates, and a mother of the movement. Hopefully soon to be Congresswoman Macbeth, and as someone who spent a lot of time at the Civil Rights Division working on police reform issues, she just speaks to my heart in a remarkable way. And that's why the new DNC, we're organizing everywhere. We're providing whatever help the coordinated campaign needs. And we have a spectacular stable of candidates in Georgia. I was just down there 10 days ago. We spent an entire day with our African American Leadership Summit. We thought we'd get 300. We ended up with closer to 600 people there from across the country. And we were there to talk about how we ensure that we're reaching out to everybody, because that's how we win. I will vote. That's our signature initiative of 2018, touching 50 million people to make sure they register to vote, they commit to vote, they commit to protect the vote, and they commit to get out the vote.
And to make sure that their votes are protected and that their registrations are protected.
Absolutely, and you got to understand that people like Brian Kemp, secretaries of state, who are trying to make it harder for people to vote. That is why when I talk about this job as an infrastructure job, in part, we're building not only organizing infrastructure and technology infrastructure, but we're building voter protection infrastructure. Because voter suppression is a permanent staple in the Republican playbook. And we need to simply understand that and adjust to it. And we're in the middle of a war right now. It's a cyber war. It's a cyber war in which this administration has their head in the sand, and they have their head in the sand for obvious reasons. They've been compromised. And just yesterday, literally yesterday, the United States Senate refused to take up a bill to fortify cybersecurity in advance of the election. What did they say? This is what they said. We'll take it up in the ordinary appropriation cycle. First of all, there hasn't been an ordinary appropriation cycle in years. And secondly, what that means is we'll take it up after the election. I mean, the Russians not only hacked the DNC, they attempted to get into state parties.
Yes.
They attempted to
And they may
infiltrate
have.
secretaries of state. In at least one state, they got 500,000 names
Right.
and other information. This is real stuff. This is not just an assault on the DNC. This is an assault on our democracy. And when you have people like Brian Kemp, I mean, that is it is a disservice to all fox owners and foxes to say he's the fox guarding the hen house.
Right.
Because it is scary when you have folks like that in charge of, and he wants to be their governor. I'll
Right.
tell you, Stacey Abrams is spectacularly qualified, business leader, organizer, understands that she is going to be a governor for everybody in Georgia. She understands that we don't pit one group against another, we work together. She knows how to lead. She has demonstrated that, and we're going to be fighting like heck
Sure have.
for Stacey, and there's so many others doing the same thing. This year, you know, there's been a lot of below-the-belt tactics, and, you know, I know Michelle Obama used to say, when they go low, we go high. You know what I say? When they go low, we go vote. So get out there and vote, folks. Get
like
your
that.
friends out there to vote who are eligible to vote. That's how we win elections. We have a remedy in this, and it is voting.
Perez,
Take care.
thank you so very much for your
Good
time.
to see you.
Much appreciated. This is
Glad you're
Jason
here.
Johnson signing. Oh yeah, I'm here every time. It's Jason Johnson signing off for The Root. That was Tom Perez. Make sure you get out and vote.